To really shine light on, our culture and work ethic and, how great Hispanic heritage is. Hi, I'm Joshua. Let's talk. So I'm from Moses Lake, Washington, and grew up there my whole life. And from there, I went to WSU for 2 years and then transferred to Eastern Washington to finish my degree in finance and business. Came to Spokane, met my wife. We have two children, 2 daughters, and been here ever since. I've always been proud of my heritage, my background, and my grandpa's from Mexico, and moved over here, met my grandma, and had 5 sons. My whole family grew up on hard work. Started with my grandpa. Had a mechanic business. He farmed. He would take my uncles and my dad, to the west side of the state every summer, and they would pick berries or strawberries, whatever's going on in that season, and constantly working and providing for his family, but always giving the shirt off his back as well. When I first moved here 8 years ago, there was definitely a lot less Hispanics, and I think now maybe you see more of different cultures. Growing up in Moses Lake, knowing a lot of people and being a big athlete, basketball and football, really met a lot of great coaches and teammates and teachers, and a lot of people that have supported me to this day. And especially when I started my lawn care business, 16-year-old kid passing out flyers to mow lawns, and a lot of times skipping school and practice just to work, and a lot of support that I've had in my life. It's a big Hispanic community. Certain aspects of, there were some instances where, you saw that, or maybe people don't like Hispanics, or, definitely saw certain things of that growing up. But they're in Moses Lake and Warden and a lot of the surrounding areas. It's a very heavily populated Hispanic community. I used to live in Post Falls right when I moved here, and so there's definitely certain areas where you felt that tension of, being Hispanic in some of those areas where, you didn't want to be. But here in Spokane, haven't felt much of that, to be honest. My roommate, he grew up in Post Falls and in that area, Rathdrum. So there were some areas he wouldn't even take me, because he was just like, yeah, we're not gonna go there, kind of thing, And so seeing that to that extreme firsthand was an eye-opener right when I moved here. No matter how many differences you have with others, just doing the right thing and being a good person. You're always coming into those circumstances or instances where, you won't get along with someone or agree on the same thing, or, like we've seen the past 3 years with so many different movements and things going on, not everyone's agreed on everything, but understanding, we all are here for the same purpose, and treating people right is, I think, the first thing to do, and keeping your faith, whatever that may be, at the front, and everything else will lead from there.